What up, y'all? This is Zircon signing back into 6 days of snow. So, in the last episode, we had a nice little chat with Reiko. Turns out she actually wants to get out of the inn and off on her own or something like that, because she's getting a little bit tired of it. As for us, we're still there. Apparently, we just went to bed and we had a dream about Reiko. I'm starting to have very bad vibes about this. Oh boy, I'm not sure where this is gonna go. Let's find out. Because I think the guy's starting to hit on the girl a little bit. I'm not promoting that. Okay, the next morning dawned in understated shades of gray and powder blue, and there was a pervading chill in the air. I lay my food in for a few minutes like a baby, eyes shut, trying to fend off the cold to little avail. The cool air brushed aside my blankets with ease, trailing ice against each and every bump of my spine. Ooh. Okay, oh. I was wondering, why the heck is Reiko coming in? Okay, I was thankful when a little after 7, Reiko came to deliver my breakfast. Like yesterday, however, she didn't stay for very long. Understandable. That would have been, as I already explained, improper. That would be very improper, especially how things are feeling a little bit. However, maybe it was my ingrained desire as a writer to rootle out stories from every nook and cranny, but I thought there might be a bit more to it than that. Well, Reiko seemed harried. What? Reiko seemed harried. Or is that supposed to say hurried? Her greeting was awfully clipped compared to her congenial tones but the day before. It made me wonder, and I continued to wonder while I ate my breakfast, which consisted of white rice and sari. Seems like a nice little breakfast. I mean, as a matter of fact, I actually would like some rice right now. Maybe Reiko was being overworked. I wouldn't put it past Miss Kakuichi. Though I knew a little about the woman, and it seemed unfair to judge her character based on Yasuki's observations. The way she had shouted for Reiko yesterday did not bode well. My mother had certainly never spoke to me like that when I was a child. Sachiko, meanwhile, would have sooner eaten a bar of soap than scold Kenta or Kenji, our little boys, who weren't so little now, come to think of it. Kenta was 22, and Kenji was 17. Okay. Yeah, they're not so little. Practically an adult. But children never stop being children to their parents, even when they have children of their own, and debts, and their hair starts to thin. That's just how parents are. What of Miss Kakiuchi, though? What of Reiko? It was not too unusual, I suppose, for a daughter to help her mother with a family business, particularly a business that was created away in the mountains and might struggle to maintain regular staff. But interacting with your mother, not only as a parent but an employer, must have placed some undue strain on the relationship, and it was obvious it was strained. Yeah, that would be very, very weird to be working under your very own family. I mean, it happens a lot, I suppose. Man, golly, I woke up with a runny nose for some reason. Okay. And that had been more than apparent, judging by the way Reiko shied away from her mother. These idle thoughts kept me busy throughout breakfast. I suppose the sari was delicious. The skin lightly crispy, flavored with just a pinch of salt, but I hardly tasted it. This time, it wasn't because I was comparing the quality of the cooking to Sachiko's. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't thinking about Sachiko at all. I wonder why. You're thinking too much about Reiko. What is wrong with you, buddy? I finished my breakfast, leaving only the skeleton of the sari behind. It's, if you don't know what that sari is, it's a fish. It's ribcage was snow white, the slender bones curved in a gentle arc. With a full stomach and nothing else to do, I glanced achingly out the window. Is it still snowing? I thought something sounded strange when I woke, but it was only now, well fed and well rested, that I realized what it was. It was no longer snowing. Oh no, it's not snowing. Ooh. I had grown so accustomed to the sound of the falling snow. The lack of it was disconcerting. It is hard to put it into words, but I suppose it was like hearing an old song, a childhood favorite, played one note out of tune. The ground was thick and heavy with snow like a blanket. I mean, well, it can't snow forever. I mean, it can't snow all the time. Yeah, the trees that lined the inn were naked but husked, stripped of leaves. The branches were laden with snow, their trunks wreathed with frost. The branches looked like long, slender fingers reaching into the sky, seeking refuge, perhaps from the cold. Okay, so this kind of description is okay, but when you're describing someone that's literally just standing right in front of us, their outlook, why? Just why? But their pleas would not be answered. Though it had ceased snowing for the moment at least, the weather could hardly be called warm. The sun outside shone weakly, but it was a rather poor effort. I don't think I've ever seen such a melancholy sun before. So fragile, so delicate, and so tiny, too. It might as well have been a pinprick, a pinhead, a baby's fingernail. I shifted, strangely anxious. For a few moments, I feared I really was at the bottom of a well. Even the playful wind had abated. It was quite enough to be eerie. I could hear the sound of my own heart beating. Find something to do, buddy. I mean, you gotta write, right? Start thinking of stuff to write about. Don't think of Reiko like that. Whatever you do. In the still silence, frozen like a photograph, there was nothing to distract me from myself. I scrambled to my feet. All of a sudden, I felt anxious, though I wasn't sure why. Worry weighted down my subconscious, but it was a nebulous and vague kind of worry I couldn't explain. Because I couldn't discern the source of my anxiety, I wasn't sure how to go about placating it, and that troubled me all the more. It was better than to move. I couldn't stay in my room for any longer. If I did, I might have gone mad. I mean, why would you want to stay in your room for the entire time? Luke is talking. I crept along the wooden corridor as quietly as I could. It was still relatively early in the morning, and I didn't want to disturb any of the guests. Not that I had seen any other guests. I don't think there is any other guests, and if there are, then they are quieter than a mouse. I presume that there must have been other guests, though, or Reiko would not have looked so put upon that morning. While I had been lying on my futon, luxuriating in what little heat it afforded me, had Reiko already been up and about, sweeping floors and conveying messages to the cook and jumping at the sound of her mother's authoritarian tones. Oh, come on. Give me a break. I am so sorry about that, guys. My mouth likes... My hand likes to travel. Alright. Sipping the floors and conveying messages. Okay. For not the first time, I felt sorry for the girl. Not for the first time. It was unfortunate my pity had very few practical applications. I kept quiet, my head bent, and continued to pick my way down the hallway. Hello? No matter how silently I attempted to tread, the floor creaked all the same, announcing my presence to whoever cared to listen. But there was nobody around to listen. If there were other guests, they were tucked away in their rooms, still fast asleep. It was so quiet, save for the sounds of myself and my own shuffling, I could almost bring myself to believe I was the only person left alive. I mean, when you're on a lonely mountain like that, just full of snow, I mean, it's gotta end up feeling like that, I'm pretty sure. The only one in the world. There were no other guests at the Azami Inn. Why would there be? Yeah. On top of a snowy mountain. I'm not sure how good this inn is. I don't even know how it's still up and running. If there were guests, they wouldn't be flesh and blood humans who have to be crazy to come to a secluded place like this of your own accord. Are you talking about yourself, buddy? Because it feels like you kind of are. No, there was no humans here, only ghosts. Maybe when I was sleeping, these ghosts crept out of the shadows and held parties. They would tell stories of the good old days and play the koto and let the sake flow. You know what would be hilarious if that actually ended up turning out to be just completely true? What else was there to do in these mountains, even for ghosts? If they were hopeful spinsters or helpless romantics, they wouldn't find their second halves here. If they were downtrodden servants or lonely proprietors of decades past, they wouldn't find comfort here. If they were warlords or samurai seeking revenge against their defeated kinsmen, they wouldn't find salvation here. It was far too desolate. Oh, welcome back, Kakuyuichi. While conjuring up these stories inside my head, I failed to realize I had managed to stumble across a prominent figure of the inn's current state. That is, until said figure in question cleared her throat and gave me a curious look. Mr. Tanabe, excuse me, Mr. Tanabe? Oh, sorry, I started blinking away the hazy ghosts from yesterday that had settled behind my eyelids like snow. The helpless romantics dissolved in fits of tears, and the downtrodden surface bubbed themselves into non-existence, and the same samurai skulked away in the shadows. There was nobody left in the Azami Inn. Nobody save for myself and my hostess, Miss Kakuyuichi Keio. I apologize, I said hastily, bowing my head. I didn't mean to ignore you. I was just lost in my own world, I suppose. It's quite alright, said Miss Kakuyuichi. Though I had my doubts, I didn't take Miss Kakuyuichi for the kind of woman who appreciated being ignored. Yeah. Hey, keep that cursor on the screen. I don't think anybody enjoys being ignored. How else can we confirm our own existence, if not with the eyes of others? Well, Miss Kakuyuichi seemed to have less patience with it than most. I just wanted to ask, Miss Kakuyuichi, I just wanted to ask, Miss Kakuyuichi continued, her voice smooth and soft, whether you had a pleasant night. It was fine, thank you, I responded in turn, just as she had expected, polite yet distanced. We could have been two birds passing by an opposite migratory paths, one going north, one going south, never to see the other again. That's why most human relationships boil down to. All the snow must have made me sorry. Yawning. All the snow must have made me solipsistic. Solipsistic, I'm guessing. Or maybe it was the cold. I hope the wind did not keep you awake, Miss Kakuyuichi asked. Not really. It took a bit of getting used to, I say carefully, but I was able to settle down in the end. There are different noises everywhere you go. Tokyo can be loud at night, too. I can imagine, said Miss Kakuyuichi, with the air of one who did not care to imagine at all. Do you have any plans? I thought I might go for a walk. There's little else to do here, and the forest looks so very pretty. Like something from a fairy tale. It is pretty, Miss Kakuyuichi agreed, but you have to be careful. I wouldn't want you to wander off and get lost. It would be bad for your business. Yeah, it would, because nobody else would be able to read our books. And neither would our family see us again, which is probably the worst part. Yeah, that's probably the worst part. Losing a guest would not set us in a great esteem, no. She didn't even smile at my joke. I was sure Reiko would have. Go for a walk by all means, but don't venture too far out into the woods. There should be some signs that point to Hayashikawa. That's the nearest village. If you keep sight of those signs, you should be fine. Alright, thank you. It's no problem, Miss Kakuyuichi. said Miss Kikuchi, and of course it wasn't. She was just doing her job. She wasn't telling me to be careful because she liked me, she hardly knew me. I didn't think my first impression had been all that favorable. Just as I didn't particularly like Miss Kikuchi, I got the feeling that she didn't particularly like me either. Sorry, my yawning is insanely tiring. I'm not sure why I thought that. Call it paranoia if you will, but the way Miss Kikuchi surveyed me, her eyes narrowed, left me with no doubts we were not and never could be friends. Yeah, I get that feeling a lot too. Just try to come back before 12. You don't have to, of course, but if you want to eat lunch in the end, that would be advisable. There aren't many restaurants around here, unless you're prepared to walk in the snow for miles, or hire a taxi. I bowed my head, thanking her again, and then I left. I had no desire to look back. I wouldn't want any desire either. The crisp air, chills from the snow that had fallen last night, danced across the tip of my tongue. And that's where we're gonna end it here, guys, okay? Wait. This is becoming an interesting story. Not sure exactly where it's going off. I mean, it is kind of getting a little dull, I will be honest. But it's still a bit... Sorry. I am so tired. Give me a break. I need coffee. I just didn't prepare any coffee this morning, so... Whatever. Okay, that's all I have today. Talk correctly! Okay, so that's all I have for today, guys. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, press that like button, and as always, stay active and stay connected, guys. I'll see you on the next one. This is Zircon, signing out. Bye, y'all!